What's up, Cooksy Mob? So that was it. The most prestigious race in this sport, period. It doesn't have a long history. It's the first year, but SMX was an absolute home run. Coolest thing that I've seen in this sport in a very long time, guys. So while we made fun of the name Super Duper Motocross, I will not argue. SMX is a hit. The format, everything. It is the best. And Hayden Deegqn, wow, he has arrived. But before we get into that, I want to thank Coach Rob at Complete Racing Solutions. If you guys need a program, hit up Coach Rob. He's got programs for everybody. Mental coaching. He handles every aspect of your program. So hit him up and he'll get you dialed in. Epic Garage Designs. If you want to do something cool for your garage, add yourself a pro rack. These things are cheap. You just throw it up on the wall. You can hang your bikes from it, put all your stuff above it. It will clean up and clear up so much space in your garage. You'll be like, wow, I can't believe I didn't do this earlier. There's 4-foot racks, 8-foot racks, shipped right to your house. So, and then Strapped. You guys know Strapped. Ride Strapped. Get yourself a shirt. Get yourself some goggles. Get yourself some sunglasses. And like I said, we're working on something pretty cool with the distribution model with Strapped. So hopefully that comes together. And if you're going to ship something, ship it with Precision Transport. Are you tired of shit, like trucking companies just messing you around? And they suck sometimes. They really are. The customer service at them is awful. Not at Precision Transport. They'll get you hooked up. And it's a company that supports motocross and dirt bike riders. And yeah, let's keep our money in the sport. So anyway, guys, before I get all the way into it, remember, 3 palms. So I actually have, if you were thinking about buying 3 palms just outside of Houston, the motocross track that has the lake and all that stuff, and you want to run it and you have experience running it, I might have you a financier. So hit me up if you're interested in that and we can move forward. So anyway, guys, let's get into this.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Wow, that 250 race didn't disappoint. It was not the most exciting in that second race, but the tension, you could cut it with a knife. Let's not forget where Hayden Deegqn was just a year ago. A year ago, or just over a year ago, was Claimgate when he was a B rider. Yes, a B rider at Loretta Lynn's. He hadn't even raced A. He couldn't get his pro license. He had to race a couple amateur races or amateur days to get his points to be able to race Ironman and Paula, the last couple nationals. He wasn't even a full-time, and then they were like, okay, well, that's good. He'll start next year with the outdoor nationals and we'll do futures. He does the first round of futures, tanks. He did not ride good. It was awful. And boy, I couldn't have been more wrong about the next step, but in case you remember, if you forgot, I've reposted the video I posted before Houston when I said he shouldn't go pro, which clearly was the wrong thing. He's, SMX world champion. So yeah, obviously that's the wrong call. But he's there and he is, I can't believe where he's at now. I mean, he was he was stoked to get a 4th place at his first race. And that was less than 12 months ago. That was like 8 months ago, 7 months ago. That's crazy. This kid has been on a astronomical, just his trajectory is amazing. The kid has really, really stepped it up. He's a special talent. Maybe not as special as Jett, but we won't find that out for a couple years. But the 250 race, the one thing that really bothered me. So Hunter Lawrence, I will never question his toughness. He is one of the toughest riders. After you saw what he went through to win the outdoor national championship, I just don't think, and the injuries he's recovered from, I would never want to call him out. Where I had a problem with it is saying, yeah, I just decided with the designations coming up and off-season testing, I decided to sit out. I would rather, if I'm Honda or anyone around the Lawrence camp, I'd be like, you know what? Screw the designations. Let's win you this SMX championship, the inaugural championship for $500,000. Let's get through tonight, and then let's rest you up, skip the designations, because the designations every single year is stupid. But I also understand where he's coming from. Australia's never won it, and they have a really, really good shot to win it this year. So I kind of understand that, but at the same time, that race isn't going to matter. To me, while it's awesome, it needs to be every couple of years. But I did a separate video on that as I as I digress. But yeah, I was so disappointed. And like I said, I'm not questioning his toughness. And I'm not even saying he wasn't hurt. This dude has been battling through some serious injuries. I just feel like he should have battled through and at least attempted it. Like, I don't know. He rode practice. He had pretty fast times. I mean, they weren't super fast, but they weren't horrible. I just feel like he could have toughed it out. But that's just me. I don't know. Time will tell. Maybe he'll have an x-ray or MRI or something that's going to prove me wrong. And I'll be like, well, yeah, I probably shouldn't have rode. Kid's probably in bad shape. I don't know. What can I say about some of these 250 guys? To see what Deegqn just did is so impressive that he bounced back and he beat these guys who've been doing this for a long time. Joe Schmoda, Jordan Smith, Justin Cooper. These guys are experienced, and he came in and worked them. And the one thing I was disappointed at, he didn't ghost ride. Hey, what can you say? He didn't actually win the race, and it would have been incredibly... How could you imagine if he had the math wrong in his head, ghost rode it, and didn't win? He did the right thing. He absolutely did the right thing. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Hayden Deegqn is a blessing to this sport, and we are lucky to have him and his family. Whether you love them or hate them, you pay attention to them, and that's all we can ask for. But SMX, the best 250 rider in the United States, or the world as they say, is Hayden Deegqn. I'm sorry, but the way this is set up with the Supercross series as a regional 250 series and the Outdoor Nationals as a qualifier for this is the big dog. This is the Super Bowl. This is it. So that's the championship. And while Hunter had a great season, at the end of the day, in my mind, Hayden Deegqn had a better one. Yeah, seriously. He won the big one. So that's it, guys. Hayden Deegqn is your 250 king for 2023. All right, guys, in the 450 class, I cannot believe Jett Lawrence has made these guys his bitch. Flat out. He understands where he's at on the track, hitting that quad, jumping up there, and the way he manages these races. You could say, oh, these guys are catching him, they're close. Not every single week. He just marks them and manages the risk. Where Chase drops the hammer, puts a huge gap, and piles it up. Jett won't do that. Jett's going to give you 2 seconds ahead and just cruise at 2 seconds because he knows if you show him a wheel or get past him, he can dip down into that reserve and go faster. These guys are in big trouble next year. Eli Tomac, you might want to just stay retired because as great as you are coming off an injury, there's no chance you come in and smoke this kid. I don't think he's going to go undefeated. I think predicting something that's never happened in the history of the sport. In Supercross, nobody's ever gone undefeated. McGrath went 15 of 16, but nobody's, or 14 of 15 or 15 of 16. One of those two. He won all but one and got second place. Nobody's gone perfect. I don't think that's still going to happen next year, but he will be your Supercross champion, barring something. It's a crazy sport. Anything can happen. Bike malfunction, weird injury, a la Tomac this year. But guys, SMX, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Hey, and shocker, I don't know. How much money did they win? I didn't hear anyone on the broadcast say it. I just think it's funny. They give them these key talking points to mention, and they just beat them into the ground. And it's fine. They got to do what they got to do, and that's where they're at. But I do have to laugh. So they've called me, a conspiracy theorist because I've talked about the fact that MX Sports and Feld, at one point, one of them is going to buy the other one. They made my point. So if you want to know history, or if you want to know the future, look at the history. So they showed football, baseball, they showed all these leagues that merged together, right? How many of those leagues are still two leagues? One bought out the other eventually. That's just what happens. So to make it seem like I'm a conspiracy theorist for listening to the rumors about which one's going to buy out the other, sooner or later, MX Sports or Feld will buy out the other one, and they will become one series. I hope they continue with the, this is awesome the way that they've set this up with Supercross Outdoors to this true hybrid 3-race, big dog playoff format. I love it. I've been asking for a chase format for a while, and I've got a ton of pushback from people. This fixes that problem. You still have your regular season, But now you have that grand finale. And I love the single, double, triple points. It keeps everyone involved. And that's exactly what you want. The last thing you want is for your series to go or flat. Just like a good movie, your plot has to peak at the end. You have to have this last bit. They've got that now. Keep it, build off it. I think this can actually be something very special for the sport. That, and we got some stars with some personality. Jett, love him or hate him, is a personality. Hayden Deegqn is a personality. Love him, hate him. We got some guys that are willing to get up there and tell their story and give you a reason to care. So anyway, guys, that's it. That's my raw emotion from this video, or from just right after the race. I'll do another video tomorrow and probably Monday when I come up with some more topics to talk about. But this is just me raw right after the race, just still feeling the buzz of SMX. And guys, I'm all in. SMX kicks ass. All right, guys, remember, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.